Going to look at some bowling rules. Pins are 12 inches apart. When setting up the head pins, the number 2 and 3 pins are in triangular form to 12 inches apart from another. An additional rule is that the pins directly behind each other are 20.7575 representing the moon. 20 is a gateway. 2 and 7 and 7-5 is the energy. 2 and 7 is in the house of bait. Pin 8 must be 20.75 behind pin 2. 2 and 8 is the cycle that we run. The same goes for pin 5 and pin 1 and pin 9 and pin 3. So we have to remember these numbers. Okay, now I'm going to show you the pin. So what is pin 2 and pin 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over here. So these two pins over here and these two pins over here. So pin 2 and pin 2. Right? 1, 2, 3, although you go 1, 2, 2, then it'd be pin 3, and then this is 4, and then this is 3. So there's a different format, okay, of understanding. So this one would be pin 1, and then this one would be 2, and this one would be 2, and this one would be 3, and this one would be 4, and this one would be 3. So we go 1, 2, 2, or 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3, and then actually we would have to count this one as 4. But since we're not sure which, if this one is 2 or this one is 2, we'd go 1, 2, 3, and then this one would be 4, this one would be 5, and then this one would be 4. And then after that, right, we'd go, after we have 5, then we'd have to have what? This one would be 6, this one would be 7, this one would be 6, this one would be 7. So you're looking at 77, you're looking at 5, 57, 75, the power, the sky pass, the power of Christ, the separation, the 6 and 6 separation. So I have to understand more on how to set up these pins. Another thing is what if I was setting up the pins this way and I created my head pin as this pin over here, or setting it up this way, having a different angle, the one-sided. Another thing to understand is that when using graph paper, right? When using graph paper, one second. When using graph paper, I would have to divide my graph paper this way. Now my question is, can I divide even lines between the pins or not? Is one of the questions. And we have to understand the pins. The reason I'm mentioning this is the same understanding for tennis. Tennis is 15. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 equals to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. So if I use 5 to start, 15, and I use that twice, I get 30. Then I take away the E world, I go down to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. And now you have your 10, and then after that you get your game. So does that mean your game would be 15, 15, and then you work on 10, 10? Or does that 10 reduce to 6? So is it 46 the end of the game? Or does it become 50? What is that actual end score of the game? Do they give it, or do they just call it the end of the game? So it has to do with the structure of bowling or soccer, darts. Every single game has a certain number of area spaces. It doesn't matter how many darts you throw you know what I'm saying? Whether you get 2 darts or 3 darts. Professional bowling is not one game. It's usually 3 to 4 games when you get into the master bowling. And then there's the qualification rounds. And then there's the what they call the quarterfinals or semifinals. When you're playing baseball, it's 4 balls and 3 strikes, but that's 7. And the actual reality is the game is on at 5. At 5, you're still in the game. You can have 3 balls and 2 strikes. You're in the game. That 6th pitch will be an action pitch that will count for your out, O-U-T, or it'll be your walk. So it'll be 4 and 2 a walk, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 will give you 8 and 6, the separation of the gateway of the cube, house of Kaaba, which we're actually the tefillin that we're putting on our heads right now. Or this will be BlackRock, the house of Mecca, the control of the world, spins through this cube over here. There are 3 areas of this cube. Every corner is 3. But when you count the heart of the corner, it's 7 and 7, leaving 3, 1, 3 separation dividing between the 2 sides. This has to be split up into the sky, the way on the 7th day, or the day of the extra point, the day of REST, which is in French for rest, residency of rest. Man's creation is the touchdown, to the week of man that they work for the 5 days, and then the 2 days of 1 day of prayer, and whatever else you want to count the other days, 6 days of work and 1 day of rest, or 1 day of prayer, whichever way you want to look, to the 3 days and 1 day and 3 days, to where Wednesday is that 4th day, to the 3 days, to the 3 days to the left and the right. 3, 1, 3, 13, 31, 13, 57, 31, 13, 31, 75, 57, 75, or if you're looking at the cube, if you're looking at 2 cubes, right, the 1 and 6 cube is opposite 1 and 6, but when you use the 1 and 2, you get the 5 and 6 on the other side. So you get 6 and 2 and 1 and 5. 6, 2, 1, and 5. Mars, Queen. And when you work 1 through 5 equals to 15. 2 through 6 equals to 20. 2015 is the year 5775. And there's so much more. And it connects right up into the Mayans. And if you want to, numerology is the top of everything. It explains what every single word means, and it connects every single word. And then if you want to go on to the psychology, more part of it is when you start studying people, you can see who these people are, which gives more meaning to the understanding of numbers, as explained by Gary Numbers, Raphael 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus. Everything is done by giving form to a dot, a dash, a line, and understanding the gates of communication are right here. CAT. We have the dog in the zodiac, but we don't have the cat. Do we have the cat? We have the tiger, right? IT system inside of GER, right, baby? Thank you for watching this video.